Hello and welcome to Tuner Tips by Todderbert. In front of us we have the power bank Aikmi. This is a model number AI-201PD. It's a 20,000 milliamp hour power bank with power delivery and Qualcomm 3.0 ports. I picked this up for around 14 bucks at Amazon. It represents an amazing bargain. Hopefully when this video airs, it'll be at $14 still or less, I'm hoping. So let's check it out. Inexpensive box, Aikmi. I want to say make me. It's pretty hilarious. You think they think of a better name. Portable charging, yeah, power delivery, all the stuff's on here. Actually on the back panel, you'll see that it has all the information I'm going to go over. So I pretty much can just show you the box and we're done. It comes in black and white. That's kind of nice if you're into having white. I'm more into the black theme. And there you go, battery type and that. It says typical rated capacity. My testing came out a little higher. So let's look at the back. Here we go. All right, so Aikmi specifications. Let's bring it up there. You can see all the different things it can do, and I'll try to cover all that as we look at the device. There's the contents. Nice. USB gift. Okay. I'm not sure what that is. Oh, yeah, I do know what that is. You'll get to see that. I remember now. What's this little saying? Whoop, gotta bring it up and close here. Let's see. Bring happiness to your life. Okay. Compatibility, blah, blah. There you go. What's provided, what's not provided. Okay. Worry-free warranty. Not a bad thing. So let's go ahead and open this up and see what we get in the box. So it comes like in a little tray. Everything's nice and presented. Got our charging cable. Look at that in a second. Here's our USB gift. It's kind of cool. It's a LED light that goes in the power bank. It's nice for emergency use. I like that. Like almost like a reading lamp too. Cool. Let's see if we get a little manual. We'll go over in the power bank. Comes in like a little sleeve. See if I can pull it out of here. Don't make it too much racket. Okay. And the box is empty. Let's set that aside. Let's go over the goodies that came with it. So first we get this LED. Yeah, I kind of like this. I had this come with a emergency radio once, I believe. And they work really well. So you flex it and you plug it in your power bank and you can put different angles. And it's pretty powerful. I forget the draw. I think it draws like 0.2 of an amp. It gets rather warm, but you know, for emergency use, it's not bad. Cool. Nice gift. Next, we get a cool charging cable. It's like a braided cover. It's USB right here. There we go. There's our USB. It's got kind of like a purple colored plastic. Nice. To Type-C. And we're going to use this today when I demo this. Right angle plugs like that. And it's got their name on there. What's their name again? Can you guys say it with me? Aikmi. Aikmi. I love it. All right. There's the cable. Enough of that. Let's get to the power bank. Comes in this little sleeve. How nice is that? All right. We're going to zoom it on down a bit here. Okay. Let's clean off any little dust bunnies this thing collects. All right. Dimensions on this power bank. 5 3/4 inches in length, 2 3/4 inches in width, and in depth we're at 1 1/8 of an inch. So for size comparison, I brought out two popular power banks I reviewed in the past. Now the unfortunate thing with these two power banks is they're no longer available. If you don't pick them up quick, they're gone and a new one replaces it. But these are really good power banks. Here is the Mr. Bat. I love this brand. As you can tell, I've been using it quite a bit. It's getting kind of worn looking. This is the, what is this? The PS042. This is not a Qualcomm 3.0 compliant or PD power delivery. Just your standard setup. It does have a USB input, only at 2 amps though. So it's all right, but it was $9.99. Represented a pretty good bargain at the time. Up to $12.99, kind of fluctuated in price. But there you go for size. If you notice, this one is slightly smaller, but this is taller because it's a little thicker. Next, we have the Best On. This is the PS026, and as you can tell, it's a monster. This one was to replace this because this wasn't in stock. I found this one. This one performed halfway as good or it's the same. These are all 20,000 milliamp hour power banks, by the way. So yeah, this started I think around $13 and went to $17, and now they're out of stock. I don't know if they'll come back in stock. Their 10,000 milliamp hour version is in stock for 13 bucks to give you an idea, and it's the exact same form factor, just thinner. Pretty crazy. Let's just kind of show you thicknesses here so you get an idea. how thick these are and their connection ports. Yeah. So the only cool thing about this Beston is it's easy to open up and modify, which I did at one time. So let's go ahead and set these aside, and let's talk about features of the Aikmi power bank. Okay. I get a kick out of that name. I love these names. They're hilarious. But this represents an awesome deal. I really like it. So features of the power bank, of course, you got your 4 lights. Let me light them up. There you go. So right now they're showing 4 white. This is your battery level status, and they're fairly accurate. When I was discharging this, I noticed it was about 25% on each light. That's pretty good because typically sometimes you'll have 3 go down all the way and then you have 1 light forever. So yeah, these represent the capacity of the battery pretty well. This bottom light here will turn green while charging at the power delivery mode. So if you're doing an input charge of greater than the normal wattage, you're going at 18 watts, it'll automatically light up green so you know you're in that power delivery mode. Same when you're charging external devices with either the Qualcomm ports or the power delivery port. That little LED will turn green so you do know you're using that mode, that bottom LED there. So that's neat. I think we'll see that when I hook it up. So I'm going to do a demo of that. So yeah, we got a power switch on the side. If you need to stop something from charging, just you double tap it, it'll turn it off. Single click turns it on. Double click turns it off. Now this will trickle charge small devices. I noticed when I hooked up my tester, typically my tester will start the power bank, then the power bank will turn off because the power tester barely takes any power. And this guy here, it keeps turning it on and turning it off because it senses it. And yeah, so this thing's very sensitive to low power drain. And so if you do have low power devices to be charged, it should be able to charge your Bluetooth headsets and things like that, no problem, if you need a low output. So it'll definitely know that. So yeah, nice rounded corners on this ABS plastic. As you can see, it's put together real well. No flex in the cabinet. On the back here, you can see all the information. You can freeze frame. I'm going to go over all that, read all those numbers as we go over the ports. But yeah, there it is. Again, it says rated capacity, 12,400 milliamp hours, which is typical for these guys here, which I'll talk about. But this guy rated higher, and we'll go over that at the end here. So let's show you the ports. On the left-hand side, we have a Type-C port. This is an input-output one. So the input is really nice. You can charge it at 5 volts at 2 amps, or it'll take 9 volts at 2 amps. So it can go to 18 watts and charge this thing in 5 to 6 hours. That is amazing. Now, when you're charging it that fast, it does get rather warm. Don't let that freak you out. It only gets warm over here where the charging board is. The batteries don't get as hot. It's something to keep in mind. If it's a bothersome thing to you, just try to find like a 2 amp power block instead of a 3 amp power block. That's what I did. And then you can use it and you don't have to worry about like too much power going in if it gets too hot for you. Also, the output on this is your standard power delivery, which is the 5 volts, 3 amps, 9 volts at 2 amps, and 9 volts at 2 amps, and then 12 volts at the 1 amp rating. See, can I show that to you? Or 1.5 amp rating, excuse me. So there you are. I can refer to that as my directions. On the main business end here, you'll notice the 2 outputs. These are QC 3.0s. They deliver the same as I just told you there. Again, 5 volts at 3 amps. You got the 9 volts at 2 amps, and then 12 volts at 1.5 amps. There's your micro USB input. If your USB Type-C, you're not using that, and you want to use the standard micro USB, it does take 2 amps in. It'll also take, at 5 volts, it'll also take 9 volts at 2 amps also. So you can quick charge through that micro USB port. I didn't. I felt more comfortable fast charging it through the Type-C. But you can't fast charge the micro, which is a first for me to see that. Cool setup indeed. So there is that. What else do we got here? So we're going to talk about power delivery. So this delivered for me 13,146 milliamp hours, or 67.35 watt hours, and it was at a rate of 1.5 amp discharge rate. So the slower the rate, the better the capacity. The higher the discharge rate, of course, the lower the capacity. That's why that number they provided seems pretty realistic at 2.1 amps and at 12,400. When you compare them to the other two I just showed you, this one here provided, the Beston provides 12,115, and the Mr. Bat provided 12,450 in the similar tests I did with my iPad. I usually use an iPad fully discharged to check these discharge rates of these devices instead of using a dummy load. So there you go. I use real world testing. So yeah, you know what I'd use this for? This thing can charge 3 devices at once. So you can hook up Type-C, you can hook up 2 of these ports here, and you can start charging 3 radios, flashlight, 2 radios, 3 flashlights, whatever suits you. I do like that. Now keep in mind, it doesn't charge each one at max, of course, it would just blow up. It charges a total of 18 watts, and it distributes that power wherever it's needed the most. If one device is drawing more, the other devices are going to draw less. It's going to equalize that. So something to keep in mind. 18 watt total output on all 3 when you have them going. So expect only 18 watts out of this device at any given time. Another cool feature, it does have through charging. People ask it all the time, and something I should mention, I tested it, and they also said it in their frequently asked questions on their Amazon page that yes, it does support it. I tried it, it did work. I used the Type-C input to charge the device as I was charging my iPad, and it worked out fine. So that's a cool feature to have if you're trying to power, charge your bank as you're trying to power something else on the run. You have to carry extra stuff with you. It's bonus. So yeah, let's demo this thing, right? Yeah, so what we're going to do is I got a really cool demo set up. I'm wondering how high I can get my tripod here. So I'm going to kind of aim this up a little bit here. Okay, go a little higher. And I have a charger off to my left here. I'm going to bring into the frame. This thing is cool. Yeah, this is the new X-Star VC8 Plus. And I'm actually going to I think I'm going to put it like backwards. And I'm going to start loading this up with batteries. So we have the charging cable, which is that right angle deal. So we're going to go ahead and take this off. And I'm going to pause the video here and have it all set up 1 second. Okay, I hooked up the charger. Okay, we got the meter running here. I'm going to start putting batteries in. This is a cool charger. We get the reverse polarity here. Just drop in some 18650s. And we're going to watch the load go up here. So this takes 9 volts at 2 amps in to get 18 watts. So we're going to go ahead and just keep loading this up here. We're going to charge all 8 batteries. Why not, right? And we'll see if we can't get that to 18. I think it divides it out. So let's go ahead and just keep adding batteries. See it going up there. We're 9 volts at an amp right now. Nice. And the wattage is about 8 to 10. Yeah, 10 watts, kind of going back and forth. Let's see what else we got. We got this one. LG. Let's see. Got a mouse cell here. So this is nice to have in the field. You have an 8-bay charger with your power bank. Oh, this one off. Let's keep that up. Another Samsung. These are all high capacity 18650s. Some Panasonic cells. Nice. Okay, so this thing's fully loaded. Let's see what it's pulling. So we're pulling, okay, so 9 volts at, focus there, about 1 3/4, 2 amps. Yeah, there you go. So it's almost maxing out there. So this is a good setup here. If you were traveling, you get a couple of these inexpensive power banks to go with your VC8 X-Star, and then you can keep your flashlight batteries charged, radio batteries charged, whatever you're trying to charge. But definitely neat setup. I do like that. Yeah, very cool, and it's steadily pulling the power. No issue there, no voltage drop, and now so you can see it, the power delivery, pretty much on the Qualcomm 3.0. And this turned green, by the way. I don't know if you can see that. So that bottom LED did turn green. There you go. You can see the 3 above it are blue. Nice. So let's go ahead. We'll disconnect this. All right, put that aside there. And then we'll just show a couple radios, and then we'll talk about final thoughts on this power bank. Yeah, you kind of know what it is already, I'm sure. But yeah, what I would use this for typically are some radios. So what do I have handy here? What do I got? Texan, PL330. Just showing I can do multiple devices. Should be able to, right? Let's see, turn that over. Okay, charging. There you go. So the Texan has a cool thing. It gives a lapse charge time. And of course, it's charging right there. Here we have XH Data D808. Love this radio as well. It's charging cables off the side here, hitting my tripod. So I gotta get this plugged in to the charger as well. I'm not gonna have to put meters on here. You guys get the idea. It can deliver. So there you go. There's my 2 radios charging. Now if I had a type C to say like a micro USB adapter, I would use this type C port to charge maybe a 3rd radio. If I had that many radios with me while I traveled, I probably wouldn't. This would probably be the max number of radios I'd carry with me, rechargeables. But this would work really good. This huge power bank with these little radios, this would charge these quite a few times. I mean, with 13,000 milliamp hour rated, these batteries in here, I think this is like a 2000 in here, and this is the 1000 BL5C. So yeah, you can definitely get a few charges using this power bank to charge these radios. So there it is. Yeah, shortwave radio, awesome. You can tell this one's charging too. It's got the little battery icon there. You guys can see it. There you go. All right, so let's go ahead and unplug those. Oh, the fun. Yeah, good listening there, right, guys? These are neat radios, by the way. Texan PL330. It's one of my favorites. Love the audio on this little guy. Okay, here we are. Put that aside. And let's do some final thoughts on this power bank. I mean, look, all these cables. That's a fun part of having cables. Try to get short ones if you can. It makes travel that much easier. Let me just throw those off to the side. Okay, let's zoom it on down. The Aikmi Ai-201PD. Does it get a recommended buy from Todderbert? Yeah, it sure does. For the money, if it stays at 14 or 15 bucks, pick it up. If it goes to $20, still it represents a decent deal with power delivery. I'm pretty impressed with it. Yeah, I know there's Anchor and the different brands out there, and I want to try those, but they tend to change their models all the time. So I'm going to stick with inexpensive. I'm going to go with these and test them out and try them out and see how they do. This is, like I say, 14 bucks, definitely worth the money. Pick one up. You'll be happy. If you have one of these, you're upgrading, okay? You can charge 3 devices at once versus 2. You can charge them faster versus slower. You can charge the power bank much quicker. Man, I've been running this one like every day since, I don't know, 8 months. And I've been logging each one. So I got about 154 cycles on this thing. Still rocks. But it takes like 10 hours to charge this thing versus 5. Yeah, this is the better deal for sure. Even though this was a great value for 10 bucks. I mean, don't knock it. It's cool. Still working great. So there it is, the Aikmi power bank, 20,000 milliamp hour, to get you going, to keep you going. Definitely worthy. I liked how it used the power to charge this monster setup here. Wow, that was pretty cool to see that charging that. I like that. That was a big deal when I was setting that up. So there it is. Hope you enjoyed this video. Give me a like if you did. 2, definitely subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notified of future inexpensive power banks. If they're ever on sale, I always post them on my community section. So if you have that bell clicked, you'll get notified of any deals that come up. Like if this goes on sale for like 12 bucks or 10 bucks, holy cow, grab it. And I'll make a link for you guys and, snag it right away because they do disappear quickly. I've noticed that lately. And of course, 3, comment below what you think about this Aikmi power bank. Would it be one you'd pick up? Do you like the idea and all the features it has? It's a pretty solid setup. I can't knock it. I mean, I really don't see a huge need for improvement here. I really don't. It does everything very well, and it gives you the things you need.